Welcome to another episode of Day1Radio. We appreciate y'all watching us on Live Hip Hop Daily and appreciate y'all listening through CLNS Media. Shout out to our people up in Boston distributing the podcast, and whether you on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, YouTube, whatever you listen to or watch us on, we appreciate it. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, and most importantly, if you are on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review. We need that 100%. So last week after the show, you and I never really get to sit down and chop it up, even though we see each other a couple times a week, and we were chopping it up and talking about the things that we like about podcasting. And one of those things was giving our listeners and our viewers some game, giving them some knowledge, and that's something that not everybody can do. So the guest we have this week is somebody who has a whole lot of experience in the industry. You may not know her face, you may not know the first name, but you definitely know the last name. Yeah. We got Kim Sermon, who is Eric Sermon's
What's up, y'all? I'm
little sister.
Yes, I am.
And business partner.
Yes, I am.
And if you have not been paying attention, Eric has a Kickstarter right now for his new label and album and film company.
Yeah, let's clap for that. Yes. Let's put some clap on that.
100%. And as we were talking off the air, as black folks, and not assuming all our listeners is black, we have listeners around the world, but a lot of times we use crowdfunding for if somebody dies.
Yeah.
If a particular young lady wants to go to All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
daughter's going to Disney, please help her go.
Yeah, we use it for things like that. But really, crowdfunding is just an easier way to get your business idea financed by the people who actually support it, instead of having to talk to VCs and things of that nature, even though there are some VCs who go on and support different crowdfunding. So Kickstarter is like pretty much the most legitimized crowdfunding site, and you guys are going through Kickstarter for this campaign. So let us know, why did you guys decide? Because Eric Sermon can release a record whenever he wants to. Correct. Why did you guys decide that you wanted to go this route?
Well, first and foremost, Eric was reluctant about doing this Kickstarter because it was like everybody kept kind of forced this Def Squad reunion, and that's Eric, Reggie, and Keith. And it's like we can never open up to what we want to do if we only see Def Squad as three individuals. If you had the Insomnia album, you would hear that Rockwilder was on that album. You know what I mean? As an MC, there was rest in peace. Tommy Gunn was on that. Redman was by himself. We had Passion on it. I was on it. So it was a bunch of artists that represented the whole Def Squad. So, the Kickstarter being that it's a crowdfunding, platform, and it's strictly for artists of all walks. It's not a GoFundMe, the behind the backstories. If you don't crowd and get all the money, then you get none of the money. Right. So we had to kind of let Eric know, listen, I felt as though, you need to be out there in a different way, and everyone is feeling like this is the legend. They say the legend, but let's just be clear. We don't treat our legends like they're supposed to be treated. You know what I mean? I was with somebody having dinner the other night, and their father is a straight up legend, But when I was spoken to him, he said, yo, he's a legend. And I said to myself, yeah, but, if this was Bono or anybody else, their crowds would have funded this hands down. But not only would the people have funded it, the celebrities would have came in just because it would have been like, but that's the legend. Yeah. But we sit back on here and, we already put these stigmas on our people and call them old school, whatever. So again, back to the question, the Kickstarter was really about, let's do something that we want to do differently. You know what I mean? Let's get the people to, to step up and do it. Since everybody's always asking us, yo, I want to be down with Def Squad. I want to be on the record. Yo, E, when you coming out? And it's like he's came out. He's already had these solo albums. You know what I mean? His body of work is more extensive than anybody else's. Just go listen to it, And at the end of the day, it's like, well, how does a veteran come out and not be heard? You know what I mean? What does it take to go and do that? How are we supporting that? And our thing was, let's let the people talk for itself. There's a void in this game. There's a void in the way labels are put together. You know what I mean? Hip hop is so big, it's evolving so big, but we trying to box it in and go, oh, that ain't hip hop. We don't ask you to be hip hop.
So that said, was this a hard sell to Eric to do this? Because he's not the first, legacy artist.
I'm not gonna pretend.
Whatever,
it was a hard sell for him because we were pushing him towards the let's do the Def Squad, because we knew that everybody was hitting us up saying, when are y'all coming out? We haven't heard y'all since 1998. The hard sell was, I don't want to do the Def Squad. I want to do something that's gonna put an album together. I want to do something I can hear hear all the other music that's coming out. He's before YouTube or any of those Insta famous can just go find somebody. Every artist he selected came from somewhere else. They, you know, you look at any other labels, those people were in their neighborhoods. You know, Wu-Tang came from Staten Island. You know what I mean? Master P is one of my top dogs, but those people came from New Orleans. Keith was from CI, Reggie was from Jersey, Das Specs was from Brooklyn. He went to Chicago and got 309. You know what I mean? Like, these people come from everywhere, you know, so that's who he is. So his thing was, I want to continue to do what I've always done, which was find unique artists like a Das Effects, like a Keith Murray, like a Redman, and put them on a label and do what I've been doing. But he's
found illegal in Philly. Can't forget about it.
No question, Lil Jamal, absolutely. You know what I mean. But that's what I mean. He found, but he was, you know, he comes and he finds. I mean, I can go from Colorado. You know what I mean. He had Shades of Lingo. You know what I mean. Like he had artists from all over.
Shades of Lingo was from Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado was his name. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he was from Colorado. He called himself Colorado. That was Shades of Lingo. Wasn't they dope? You know what I mean.
Yeah, I remember Shades of Lingo.
Even he had Cy Scott. You know what I mean. Before he was with Dallas Austin, Scott from Philly. You know what I mean. It was about just different MCs. He liked to see people talk, you know, and just play wordplay with that, with, you know, with that microphone. That was his thing. For him, he was like, yo, Kim, I didn't have a Dame, I didn't have a Jimmy. You know what I mean? He's the art. Them people be the art, and they have somebody else doing the business. So no one ever sat down with him and say, yo, I'm gonna be the business and you be the art. He's older now. You know what I mean? He knows how to do the business and the art. So he's like, I'm gonna do the business and the art. Let's go. Let's do a Kickstarter. And that's what sold him.
For sure. Now, right now, you guys are at, when we're recording this, around 35,000. The goal is 60,000, and y'all have 8 days to go.
Right.
And we've seen, you know, Day1Radio do it. They did well. We've seen TLC do it, and they got the money, but you know, the fans were kind of upset.
Right.
What are you guys doing to get this out there so people know it's there? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, we know that. That's the point. The point is, my brother is who he is. So he hasn't reached out to anybody. Unless they've, I mean, Chuck D's on here tweeting on his own. You know, Deborah Mans is on there tweeting on their own. His point was, Kim, I don't want to have to give anybody to say this person is the reason why we funded this. I want it to be the people that really want to see this label come to life. I want to be with the artists who really want to say, give me an opportunity, give me a chance. I want the family who really want to see us move and grow. I want the friends who really back me. You know what I mean? So we only trying to fund where we at. You know, we going on our own and tweeting and sending people stuff. That's us as the team. But him as an individual, we don't even let him know we doing that. Because for him, he's like, nah, we're not going famous. We just gonna go right here, ground roots. He said, I come from the underground, so I'm gonna only deal with the underground. So we're the underground VJs, we're the underground DJs. Where's the DJs who don't get the main people or the big supporters on their platform? I don't, you know, Sway's his homeboy. He could have went anywhere. He was like, nah, we're gonna do it like this. And every day we like, nah, you know, such and such is hitting us. We should go here. We could get this money. He's like, nah, we're going to stay right here.
Gotta go on Sway. Gotta use that outlet. Because at the end of the day, it's about the people hearing the music and getting...
The music is a given, you know what I mean? So when we put the music out, of course he's going to do the gamut, you know what I mean? Right. But this right here is a personal, you know, thing for him, you know what I mean? We don't, like you said, he can put a record out and do anything, you know what I mean? But the point of it is to really know that, I told E, I said, this is what I'm going to know at the end of this. I'm going to know who's riding with me and who ain't. This is what this is going to teach me. So I don't want the people, you know what I mean? My home, Mr. C's, a good friend of mine, he sent me the link today. He was like, yo, Kim, I posted it, you know what I mean? That's so, we good, you know what I mean? Forever. And I got people out here who I rock with, but this is what it is. I'm going to make my decision on whether I'm going to turn that page, whether you can call me and say you need a rug or not from this right here. Because if you riding with me, then you riding with me. Right. And I'm going to know it.
That's 100%.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know what he doing, but that's what I'm doing.
and we will when
I'm looking to see who riding with me, and if you ain't, then I know now.
And please, if you want to support, go to Kickstarter.com and just type in Erick Sermon, ERICK, Sermon, and it's the first thing that pops up. You know what I mean? So
we just put them jackets up, them Death Squad jackets, and we could have used the whole Eminem post. You know what I mean? That he got the jacket for his birthday that he wanted from Redman. You know, we could have used that. You know, because the people would have seen that, and his fans, we could have had him retweet it. You know what I mean? Because his visual is already up there. Right. And I was like, nah, my videographer put up. I said, nah, I don't want that one. I want the one with Eric's back. You know what I mean? I don't want that. Right. I got to stick to what he wants to do.
But isn't all good money good money sometimes? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if somebody sees an Eminem image or a Chuck D tweet, and they're like, okay, I'm making my decision on that. There's a person that's influential to my decision. You know what I'm saying? Is that not good money? Does it have to only be? Oh no, it's got to be from people.
I'm not denying. I'm just like I said, Chuck on his own. So Chuck supporting us on his own. I'm not. There was a beef with Drake and someone, and he said, "You're not." Was it the two artists? He said, "Well, you're not going on social media and supporting me." You know what I mean? And I think it was Drake and Meek Mills. It was that big beef because it's needed. You know what I mean? And they got a riff, so it's like I'm not gonna let him go and look at all his friends to go, "Who didn't do that? Who didn't do that?" You know what I mean? Because that's what it's going to be. We got to think bigger than this. That's what it's going to turn into. We watched it do that, with other artists. So it's like we're not going to do that. And look, me personally, I'm talking about people I rock with. I don't want him going, Kim, who didn't do that for me?
Right.
Who you said? Who he didn't pledge? I'm not even going to put that in his mind.
Okay. No doubt. All right, so let's run down some of the benefits, the rewards that you get for backing. If you like it, and it starts at $2. Like literally, you can get an exclusive track, an exclusive bonus track.
Yeah.
$2 goes all the way up to $10,000 if you want to get a track from Eric Sermon plus a music video of the song. Yeah. Digital download of the album and a bonus track. So there's so many packages.
You'll see our biggest selling one is the party. Everybody want to party with us. At $55, they want to party with us, which I don't blame. They
y'all are doing parties in Atlanta, Chicago.
Yeah. New York,
Los Angeles.
Those are spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we already got the parties lined up. We partying regardless.
Ain't nobody flying you nowhere for $55.
No, we're not flying you. No, just come on down. You know what I mean? We try to open it up to enough states. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's it. We partying regardless.
Definitely.
Also, that MC one, the one that we opened up for the $60 is submit your record, a beat, DJ scratch. It's like I don't know nobody who's doing that. We just try to go a different way with this Kickstarter.
Like y'all are actually like giving real tangible interactive things that these people can take
and that was all Eric's
and use.
He was like, I don't want to give no bull just to take some money and say here you go. I want things that I really want. Like he says nostalgic stuff. I want to give away a plaque. You know what I mean? I know what it felt like when I got my first plaque from other people. You know what I mean? That came in. Hard. And when I got my plaques that said EPMD or Reggie on it or Keith Murray Most Beautiful, it's like for me, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for the outsider coming in and going, I funded that, you know what I mean? I got a plaque for it. He wanted these in really, tangible, good, packages to put together, and he went through every last one of them.
And there's so many, like we can't run through all of them, but there's so much stuff. So like you mentioned the jacket earlier, so that's dope. Def Rug, which is a company that you guys how long ago? It's been like 5 years.
2012 we started it pretty much.
About
in the
5
kitchen,
years
in the
ago.
house, This is the actual Def Squad rug that you can get that you can get on the Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
If you're just listening, you can't see it, but it's a dope Def Squad, the logo rug.
Go on Kickstarter. The Def Squad logo with the child in the building blocks.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a brilliant idea when I first saw y'all launch that company. Yeah. How has it been? I know you were saying like it's hard to even keep up with demand.
It is. This company started, and I felt like it just hit the ground running. Like, because he's my brother, so it's easy for us to go into places and just give away a rug, you know what I mean? Because we had accessibility to go in anywhere, Right. So there was a concert in town. It's like, all right, let's go make sure they get one. There's such and such. And then when one person gets one, it's like, where my rug at? You know what I mean? It turned into, oh, you want one? So now I'm like, wait a second. The best publicity you can do for your brand is to have someone else hold your brand up without you standing there, which means they believe in it. Yep. You know what I mean? It's not you standing by and going, take a picture.
Right.
So we send it to the NWA set. They all holding it up on the set. We send it to, certain places where it's like, you got to be solidified because they are representing us when we're not there.
Right.
And those people, and they were inboxing us. And I used to have to call people and go, is this really Lil Wayne? You know what I mean? Like, because they hit me up for this rug, and then calling other managers and going, yeah, that's them. They really want it. You know what I mean? Just last night, it was T-Pain him, and he was like, send it to my house. And I said, he live in Georgia? Because I got the address. I was like, he live in Georgia? But again, everybody's hitting us up for these rugs, and we appreciate the love, you know what I mean? Everybody my brother likes home decor.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like he's a person who's like, yo, Kim.
Who would have ever known?
That's about branding though, you know what I mean? And because I didn't have the opportunities to do what I was gonna do when it came for branding him, it just fly. But he likes to be like, yo, Kim, go and find me like, some guitars for the wall, you know what I mean? But go give me a couple of rugs. He just likes to keep stuff, but he wants to make sure it represents him in music and hip hop. He don't want nothing just because it's dope. He wants to be, to be nice, but definitely represent the culture. So my homeboy, who I've known for 20 years, he was actually my engineer when I was signed to Redman with his sister.
Right.
And they pacified us, put us in the studio, and basically, that's what they did with us. And he was my engineer.
Kim and Roz?
Yep, Roz and Kim. And he pacified us. Oh, he got knowledge. And he pacified us and put us in the studio. I'm gonna say that again, Redman. And anyway, I love him to death, but he did that to us. And he put us in the studio. And 20 years later, my homeboy, he'd been working, that's his family's rug company. And he's never thought to cut up a rug. And he didn't like what he was, you know how you work for the family business and you hate it, but you wealthy, so you had the family business. And I was like, can you make me a rug, you know what I mean, for my brother? And he was like, you mean like a print? I'm like, no, like a rug. You ever made a rug before? And he was like, nah. And he went home and came back and was excited. He was like, yo, Kim, you gotta see what I did. I wanna bring it over right now. And he lived like 2 hours from my house. Yeah. I was like, bring it over. We went downstairs to the studio and Eric looked at everything. He was like, yo, that's the money right there. He was like, what you mean that's the money? He was like, that's the money. And I'm like, yeah, that is the money. And then we just started brainstorming on how we was gonna take this rug company just past the customs and make more money. And then we started doing how much rugs cost, how much we had to put into it. He came back with the numbers. Eric put the money in.
Let me take a look. You got your book here.
Yes, this is my old book. So I call it my partner's fan book because he likes to take a bunch of pictures with his peoples, together. Okay. And I just want the people in the picture. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So if the average, say if an upstart label wants a rug for like their studio, like how do they get one? How do they get it made?
We shut this website down until after this Kickstarter because I'm the boss and I can do that. And I just want people to, and we just got too much of, and I don't want to hold nobody back, having them wait and whatever. So it's like, let's just shut it down for these 30 days. You know what I mean? We got to relaunch right after the Kickstarter closes, and it's going to show you way more easier to be able to do whatever you want. Upload your photos, get your your logo. We've made 3 different variations so the average person can actually afford one. You know what I mean? Cool. That's Eric was big on that. He was like, I'm not trying to beat people with $1,000. You know what I mean? Celebrities come out. You know what I mean? And kids getting hurt over simple stuff like that, something that's popular. Yeah. And these rugs are popular. And he was like, I got to find a way that everybody can have one. Right. That's not going to hurt them. Even the ones who have the money will just say you still have options and variations. So there's 3 different variations. That's a custom. The customs is the high end rugs. They start at like $400. Yet we have 2 other rugs underneath those that anyone can have a custom rug at this point. And that's what the new website, the website will reflect. And
yeah, because I would definitely have a Public Enemy logo rug in my crib or something like that. Like that's hard. That's history.
Those were our first licensed logos. See, some of the rugs are licensed logos. So recently, we've done the Drink Champs. We haven't put it out there yet, but we've got some rugs in line that's coming out. After the Kickstarter, we license their logos and we do little small runs. 50 rug runs, see how they work. You like it, we love it. Let's do it again and again. It's about the flip.
And it's got to be awesome to be like in the culture, like really solidified in the culture to where you can have those conversations. So, can I use your logo?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and you don't have to jump through too many hoops because you're talking directly to the people. That
and appreciative that because people are drawing stuff and putting people's faces and shirts on stuff and don't own it. We're about partnership, not endorsements. We say you want to come in with us. This is percentage. Do you like them numbers? You know what I mean? Let's work out half and half. Like this is about a partnership. We want people to go and make money in their sleep because a lot of these artists say don't have it. Mm-hmm. They don't have merchandising. They don't have partnerships. Right. They're not in companies where they can say I'm a partner in that company. And I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to make my part of that business grow. They don't have it.
Right. That's 100%.
And we trying to supply that.
So how has it been working with your big brother? We don't see like
on the Kickstarter.
No,
on the Kickstarter now.
No, period.
All right, period.
Like, cause y'all are business partners.
Yes.
So this ain't just a one-off thing.
No. I love my brother to death. He told me everything I know. You know what I mean? But he's my brother. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of pushback. You know what I mean? And I didn't get in this game like it was easy, you know what I mean? It was very hard for me to come in. And I always say shout out to the people who came for Eric but stayed for me. I came here when I was 19 years old, and my family been coming here. I've been coming since I was a kid. So when EPMD broke up, Eric automatically came here. Right. Not because of somebody else. My family was here, you know what I mean? And he came here and hooked up with somebody and did the rim shop, you know what I mean? And was at DARP, so they opened the doors and he started doing hip hop here. But me, I've been coming here. I started working with Greg Street, doing parties when I was younger. And he took me under his wing, whatever. And my brother used to be like, why do he didn't understand how I was meeting people, you know what I mean? And he didn't really have the same relationship with them. I'm like, yo, I'm cool, E. I was like, yo, and he'd be like, no, this game ain't for you. And I was like, E, I'm built for this game. You not. You know what I mean? It was really like a fight. And he kept saying, at one point we had a conversation. He was like, yo, Kim, this game is terrible. He was like, they will eat you alive. But he was going more so on the label aspect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they was chewing them guys out and spitting them back out, you know? And I was like, it just made me hungrier, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'm supposed to be here. And after a while, I just fought my way in.
You were more so like working with the people, not the labels. Like you're making like personal relationships with people,
when you
making
said
things happen.
97, I thought you was talking about Hot 97 because I boycotted Hot 97, Word Up, in New York. And I met her later on in life. And my brother was like, Kim, that's the lady who got you fired. Because I used to call and be like, that's not the most requested record in the country. Y'all lying. You know what I mean? Start playing some real music. Hilarious. Who on your payola list? You know what I mean? Like I was giving them hell, like straight up and down. Because this culture, I'm an advocate for. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not just an advocate because my brother's EPMD. I'm an advocate because this is what I walk and talk hip hop. You know what I mean? This is how we dress, how we look, how we move. This is a culture. You know, we were birthed in. You know what I mean? They say hip hop was born in 1973 on Sedgwick Avenue. I was born in 1973. You know what I mean? So I just feel like this is what, no matter what it is, this culture should remain alive, and we have to know that there's something that we got to do to keep this culture alive. And people are just looking at it through glass mirrors and not really looking at it the way they supposed to look at it and go, dog, you know, of course I want this to live forever, like rock and roll.
Like I always want to know this from a person that moved here, because like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, separation in Atlanta, especially the music scene, where it's like, oh, well, you ain't really from here, or you ain't really from there. But the thing about it is, like, Eric Sermon and Too Short were two of the people that came here first and really like opened up a lot of doors that even guys in Atlanta weren't able to open up. So if you can briefly like tell us about your experience of like coming, because looking back, I'm seeing old Redman videos.
No
like,
question.
Man, that's Peter Street.
That's like the house.
You
No
know
question. That Pick It Up video was at our house on 420 Hope Court. You know what I mean? And like you said, the Rim Shop, everybody in the world came to the Rim Shop. You can't say Freaknik was anything without you going. I mean, I remember everybody just dropping off their cars, but I used to go to the grocery store in Alpharetta and watch people, just regular people, you know, and being like, because I'm from New York, we ain't that close. I don't get to see those people running through the streets. So for me, I was like, I went to Club Flavor, which was the club during that time.
On Memorial.
You know, shout out to Terry Matthews, because he used to, that's how I met Greg Street, straight up and straight. I lost money. I had hired, Shaka Zulu was working on the station. It was new. Mm-hmm. And they would say, come to the, I used to hire the station to broadcast live. So I don't know. Remotes, I'm new. I don't know this ain't really what's popping. And I don't know that 97 is brand new. So I'm like, how much you, he was like $4,000 once you pay the door, you know, because I didn't have to pay. Once the door gets paid, then you go after that. So I'm like, all right. I think Shaka was sitting on like a table. Wasn't nobody really coming in there. He was like, we broadcast live. I was like, what the hell is this? They got their money, and he felt sorry for me to do. He was like, I'm gonna give you $500. You did a good job, but you know, I know you make no money. I was like, all right, okay. And then Street, because he still is the man like he was before. You know, he came in there and saw me and was like, yo, like, you know, I like how you was doing stuff. I was organized, you know what I mean? I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah, Redman had a platinum album at the time. And he was like, we're gonna do a party for him. And he was like, but I'm gonna call him. No, Street was never about no favors. He took his money out, what he wanted, you know what I mean? Gave me the money, said, go to the station and go drop, you know, for like, I think it was like $50 for like after midnight drops and stuff. Word, I'm telling you. But back to your question about how it was, I went to Club Flavor and I saw like T-Bars and Left Eye used to always be at Flavor.
Right.
And I used to get into these concerts like it was nothing and watch them like be waiting and be like, but that's them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's just the power that E had at the time, to the point where the cops would pull me over and drive me home, you know what I mean? Like, give me escorts. And I'm like, this. I said, Ma, I think Eric's the mayor, you know what I mean? Because it was just that kind of love that they showed him, you know? They tried to give him the key to the city, but, you know, E's like, I'm like, E, you know, I don't think he knew what that was then, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what is that, you know what I mean? But yeah, like it was just dope, you know what I mean? I saw Dallas Austin outside the club, and he used to be like, "That look at Eric. I ain't had no gas in the car, you know what I mean? I'm driving around the 500 Benz, but I'm faking it till I make it, you know what I mean? But it didn't matter. I could go to any sold out concert. I remember I was at the back of the door. It was like the Outkast concert. I'm like, I'm Eric Sermon's sister. I was really, really on some stuff, you know what I mean? At the time, I was on some stuff, you know what I mean? And I had to leave. I was like, I gotta get out of here, because if I would have stayed and if I was as smart as I am today, Atlanta be mine, because it was his, you know what I mean? And we just went back home.
Definitely. Yeah. One thing that's interesting about Eric Sermon to me is he's one of those few artists that it doesn't matter what the sound is. Yeah. He can drop a hit. Like, if you really think about it, back in '98, when Def Squad dropped that huge joint, like nothing else sounded like that. Yeah. Nothing else sounded like that. And then when Music dropped, with the Marvin Gaye sample, nothing sounded like that. Yeah. And we're talking a decade damn near in between songs, not to mention all of the EPMD stuff, not to mention the solo stuff, not to mention Reggie, not to mention Keith. So I'd say all that to say, do you think that he's underrated or slept
absolutely
on?
He's not slept on. He's underrated. First of all, I feel like there's some gatekeepers, you know what I mean? And if you watch the movement of the music and you heard people resample all that records, you know what I mean, they're the most samples group in hip hop, but not just EPMD, him as a producer, you know, and not to take nothing away from nobody, but I would listen to some of the hooks and some of the samples and be like, yo, E, because he have his stuff underneath. He's never over the beat going, hey, you know what I mean, doing anything signature to know that that's mine, you know what I mean? So it's easy for you to retake something, you know what I mean? I think he tells a story about Pharrell doing a full co-op, taking that, you know what I mean, and making 2 other beats out of it. He would do that at home with me with just trivia, like, Kim, what's that beat? I'm like, that's you know what I mean, like because he would just break records down, you know what I mean. He'll break a record down in a second and be like, yo, they slow down the pattern, they put the drums in, the hi-hats. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you talk about, you know what I mean. But definitely, you know what I mean, I mean, people can say he's legendary, whatever, but he's underrated. Yeah,
I would have to agree. I mean, I think it's because there's so many things that people don't know that he did.
Yeah, and still do. They don't know. Like when what's their name? I say artists of back then are afraid to come out to, like, you know, tarnish their legacy, you know what I mean? Because it's like they don't know if they can, you know what I mean? It's like you had the dopest MC, but you ain't seen them make another dope album, because it's like I have, like, you know, Dre hasn't brought the Detox out, you know what I mean? You gotta, there's a hierarchy to go. If I come out and fail, you know what I mean, what's that gonna be? BBD wouldn't come out because they was like, we can't come out and tarnish Poison, but when they came back, they came and got Eric Sermon and they did Run, you know what I mean? Like he can make records. That's just what I know, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what the artist is, whether they new or whether they old. He knows how to make records designed to make that artist sound how they supposed to sound.
Definitely. One thing I always have a discussion, because there's a lot of women that want to get into the business, younger women, things like that. And as a man, it's difficult to give advice because y'all face things that we don't face.
Okay.
What advice would you give to say a college student right now that's like, I really want to be in the music business on the business side? Like, what advice would you give them?
Stay in school and find the passion that you're passionate about, and make sure you have the credentials that's going to support that. Because at the end of the day, it's like I can be as dope as I want to be, but if I had a marketing degree, I'd be a monster, you know what I mean? If I had this degree that would accompany what my passion is, you know what I mean? I'm a monster now because I'm older and I done went through it and I done Googled and I done figured out stuff and I done made mistakes. But I tell everybody, don't not put the microphone down. You can still rap, but just make sure you got something that supports that career, because you got to look at contracts. And you gotta know how to make, you know, you gotta want to know how sample clearance works, you know. So I would always just say, just go to school, and whatever you're passionate about, make sure that degree is it accompanies that.
Yeah, especially the passion part, because like you hear so many young people, you know what I'm saying, women and men that are like, I just want to be in the music industry, but like, doing what though?
Yeah, you gotta know.
I just want to be in the game, like, doing what though? You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to be in the game too, and I had to figure out how I was gonna stay in the game. I say, hey, I can't rap, but I'm gonna be in this game. And that's how you do it. You know, you go to school to figure out, well, I wanted to be an entertainment attorney, you know what I mean? But it was like 7 years. I ain't got 7 years, you know what I mean? I ain't got 7 years. And 7 years I'm gone and went and came, but it's like, yeah, do something like that, because no matter what, you're gonna stay in the game as long as you do something that the game needs.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's definitely true. Speak a little bit about this Def Squad film component.
You know, we so multifaceted over there. The whole point of it is to build this big house, you know what I mean? And I've gone to so many labels, and I watch these labels, and I go, y'all watch the Grammys, you know what I mean? And you see all these categories that we ain't never heard of. It just creates stuff for their people, you know what I mean? Because it's like, we're not going to leave out Jennifer and them. Let's make that a Fufu award, you know what I mean? Who the next Fufu award? So like, and we only boxed in over here, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, let's open this whole thing up and let's do what we're supposed to be doing. So no, I mean, I could go on, you know, I'm just so passionate about my culture.
So are you guys gonna be doing? I mean,
back to the film. The film thing is just another aspect of what we do. You know what I mean? We do videos. You know what I mean? And we just decided to, since we're making these divisions, let's show people that in this company, we're gonna have, you know, the film, we're gonna have the arts, you know, like I got a guy who I'm gonna be meeting with on that did our original Def Squad logo, you know, he's doing emojis, but he's been doing emojis, but he's doing another spin on these emojis. So it's like, yeah, we want to do every element that represents this culture, and we want to put it inside of a house. You know what I mean? So it's not just about the MC. It's about what we're doing right now. You know what I mean? It's about how, you know, VJs and DJs came about. You know what I mean? That should always be in anybody's company. You know what I mean? To keep this culture moving. So that film is just a part of it.
That's what's up, definitely. And I mean, we see so many. I feel like now everything is nostalgic. Like they say, things go in 20-year cycles. So it would be ill to see a Def Squad doc, a EPMD doc, a Eric Sermon doc.
Absolutely.
Like there's I think Friday, Apple Music is dropping the Cash Money Records.
Yeah.
Oh, it's finally coming out?
Documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's ill, and that would be crazy because there's so many stories.
Yeah, we've been working on every day. Like I say, Eric, just sit in the chair, you know what I mean, and just tell stories. I said, because I don't want somebody else to have to tell your story. We'll fill it in, you know. If it comes out after your passing, we'll fill it in. You know what I mean? We'll go back to old Mary and go, did you really meet him? You know, Alicia Keys, but he really gonna sign you? You know what I mean? Like, but you have to tell the story first. You know what I mean? So he's like, I want to do it like a Defiant one. Like, go tell the story. Sit in the chair. Go over how these people that you could have signed, that you've met before anybody else met. You know what I mean? Tell your story. So we definitely going to be doing a lot of, you know, Diamond J got, you know, a sick documentary coming out. You know what I mean? Shout out to DJ Diamond J, who's like a super DJ. Diamond J was the original DJ. You know, those were the three brothers from Brentwood, Long Island. And, you know, so I ain't gonna get into the whole EPMD breakup, you know. But we went through two DJs, you know.
We'll let Eric tell that story when he come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Most definitely. So we always talk about different things that are going on. So you cool to hang out for me?
Yeah, I'm hanging out.
I'm hanging out. So yesterday, you text me about the Vlad thing.
Yeah.
About
so I think I might have even been like days late. Like I'm not on the internet 24/7 like I used to be, but you know, over the last few days, a lot of people have been talking about DJ Vlad interviewing Ayanna Jackson, that is known as the woman who accused Tupac of rape.
Right.
And we know how that story went. So it's like, initially I heard people saying, oh man, they found her. Then you hear people saying, oh man, she can't get a lie straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear all this stuff, and it's like, but beyond the whole lying and all that, my concern was like, there had to be a lot of fucked up energy to make that interview happen on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the climate that we're in, with like the Time's Up and the Me Too. Part of me is like, all right, somebody must have been thinking, oh shit, it's the Me Too movement. Let's drag this into that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it's like, then you see a situation where it's like, okay, well, this person got justice. Like, one of the few times that the person got justice, like the person that was accused went to jail. Whether he did it or not.
Justice or not.
Like, exactly. There was a repercussion for it.
Right.
And this man is dead for over 25, has it been 25? Or no, he died in 96. You know, so like
22 years,
so it's like,
almost.
So it's like, so why do an interview like that? Like, who does that serve?
I think you said the first one. You know, I'm going with one. Like, I'm going with one. Like, we selected. I'm going with one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, bro. This is one of the reasons why I'm very much about telling our stories ourselves.
Yep.
And not just because you was there, but because you're passionate about the culture and you contributed to the culture. It was a lot of people that was just hanging around. You know what I mean? And that's one of the issues. And I ain't got no beef with Vlad, but that's one of the issues that I have with what he puts out there, because we seen, you know, the Rick Ross thing where he got knocked out, but he sued Ross.
Right.
Like, that's some sucker shit. We don't do that in hip hop.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
watch your mouth.
Exactly. So it's like, if you're gonna say something, then stand on it.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's sad that people are so sensitive about words anyway, but hey, if it is what it is. So I don't feel like, I feel like if she approached whomever, Sway, whomever about it, and they decided to do the interview, it wouldn't have gone like that.
Right.
And it would have been like, yo, come in, this is not TMZ. But this is a situation where you sit down and we gonna really talk it out, and you're gonna because it could have been a situation where it came out and she was like, I want to get the truth out. This was fucked up. And it's been weighing on me, and then got in there and it was on some silly stuff. You know what I mean? So it's That's a tough one, man. I don't know,
I think
but I
it's
wouldn't
the Culture
feel
Vulture building. I think just like TMZ got a building, Culture Vulture got a building. They go in and be like, "Whoa, what's going on with the culture? You go take that." You know what I mean?
Nah, you.
I got a story. Like run after that. Like I call them ambulance chasers. I think they sitting around. You know what I mean? Figuring out how they gonna be able to, what's going on with us. You know what I mean? And who they can go get. Because look when they did the whole story on Stacey Dash. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
It was just like, who's sitting around, going to get somebody who ain't relevant, who's doing nothing today, you know what I mean? Just because she's speaking on us, you know what I mean? It's like, let's go get her. You know what I mean? That's,
What's funny, we talked about, not Stacey Dash, but the Raven Simone and speech thing about the Rock Nation brunch last week, and Arrested Development actually commented when we posted it on social about was speech hating or elevating, and they favorite it to tweet. I was like, I would love him to come in and clarify, because I was like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have y'all been watching the Winter Olympics at all?
No.
No.
This is about the blackest, brownest Winter Olympics.
Is it?
Man, it's so many people from different countries that are representing, obviously the Korean girl Chloe Kim. That's 17, the youngest, winter medalist in snowboarding or whatever. But dude, the Nigeria got a bobsled team, female bobsled.
Yeah, that's what they was.
team.
That's what when the TV goes blank and you can hear them talking.
Yeah.
They're like, wait till you see what comes in. I'm like, I just heard them talking about. That's how I know it was on.
Yeah.
I was like, sure.
it's a lot of stories. I mean, my 9 to 5 is I run a sports website, so I have to pay attention to this stuff. But I was really tripping, just kind of watching and I was like, damn, this don't look like the normal Winter Olympics. Norway is still leading all the medals because that's what they do.
Right.
I
They're
remember when
Nordic
Olympics
people.
was here and I stole something. Yeah. I swear.
Back in '96, what you
You was
steal?
out here
I was
wilding out,
here
wasn't
at
you?
the Olympics. Me, my homegirl Passion, Redman's cousin Marky, we in the car driving around the bins, and you know how you pull up and they got the little stores right there, so he had a hat. So I'm like, let me see your straw hat, mister. We from New York, we bugging, you know what I mean? We don't know this is popping off, you know what I mean? So he looking at you want to take a picture? We still sitting in the car. I'm like, nah. I'm like, drive off, Pass, drive off. Yo, we can see the police stepping off the curb, look at the back of our plate. I'm like, is they looking at the back of our plate? Out of nowhere, they swarm like the SWAT team. Put your hands on the car! Put your hands on the car! all of Brooklyn came out of my homegirl. All of hardcore New York came out of my homeboy. My mouth, y'all hear my mouth game. So I was like, officer. He was like, you would have been locked up during the whole weekend. We wouldn't have seen you till Monday. You know what I mean? We was like, yo, all that over a hat. We was gonna bring it back. We could have got on the highway because the highway was like, we could have got on the highway. We was turning around. Just Georgia.
You was out here wild.
Yeah. I just had.
You was doing a lot.
I love you, ATL. You know what I mean?
You was doing a lot.
But those hats are collector's items now. Those straw hats.
It was on the corner. I ain't lying about these stories. Y'all, it was on the corner. He was like, "You want to take a picture?" And I was
need to write a book.
No. I was like, "Pull off, Pash, pull off." She was like, they came out of nowhere. We had stole everything. It was like, "Put your hands on the car." I was like, "Yo, what's happening?" Pussy was high. You know what I mean? Pardon me.
Yo.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yo, you need to write a book.
I love Atlanta.
You need to write a book.
Rest in peace to my grandmother, my aunt. My aunt lived in Vine City. We came here every summer. And she moved out them projects. I was pissed off. I was like, what do you mean you moved to a better neighborhood? You ain't supposed to be moving up.
You was in Atlanta for real.
Word. Yeah. My uncle had and my aunt, they had a shop in the Bluff, you know what I mean? Techwood. That's what we, when I came here every summer, that was fun to me. You know what I mean? I'm from Long Island with the trees and,
right.
The horses and stuff in the back. No, I came here, was like, yes. My mother went to Harlem when she was younger. So that was her summer. So when I came here, I felt like, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Let's get where it's popping at.
So y'all family have been in Long Island for a long time.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
Brim, Long Island. That's my home. Yeah. I moved around a lot as a kid, but we was always in Long Island. So when we really got settled, you know what I mean? It was like Brentwood was where we got settled at, But my aunts and them was already out here, so we came here every summer. You get shipped somewhere every summer.
Yeah, I went to LA every summer.
And I went right here, and then I went to Florida. In Florida, the club is the tree. You want to go to the tree? Where the tree? The tree. It's outside. My cousin be out there yo. They thought word.
Times is different then. I was like literally, I was 4 years old on the plane.
And when I came here, bass music was so heavy, like 3-6, 3-5-9, like bass music.
5-5-9.
I was telling somebody, I was like, yo, MJG and 8-Ball was platinum when I came here. I never heard of them. I never heard of them.
Oh yeah.
Ball
and G were
so
kings.
I turned into the biggest. People at home was like, "What you talking about?" I was like, "MJG and 8-Ball."
Yep, same here. I had the
they
same.
know. They ain't know.
Because when I came to college out here, my roommate was from Nashville. So that's the first time I heard of Ball and G, 3-6, Tom Ski Matt, and all them dudes from Memphis. Like I had no idea because this was before the internet.
Yeah,
so you didn't know.
That's a hell of a feeling that I'm assuming is lost now. Because it's like, I can't imagine that there's a college freshman stepping on campus at a college out of town.
Yep.
He's a newcomer there, and he's bringing what he's got.
Nope.
And then you're having a roommate from somewhere else. Like, now it seems like everybody knows everything at the same time.
It was so much more organic to come somewhere and be like, yo, where's such and such? I was going. Now it's like, so where they at? Where the best spot at? Or where you go at night? You know what I mean? Like,
go on Instagram.
It's
see
nothing
what it
organic.
Look
Like. We was getting away with a lot of stuff then too. You know what I mean? And now
You're right
it's
about
that.
that.
When I first came, I'll be in the strip clubs and the girl be taking out the guns out their purse. I'm like, you got a gun? Like, I didn't know it was legal to have no gun on the back of your seat and stuff. So I came here like, I'm getting a gun. Like, all this was fun to me.
Your ass was out here wilding.
It was fun. It was fun to me. I was looking for every little dope boy I could find. Like, what? And dope was weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, y'all getting paper off of weed like that out here? Oh, for real? I was just bad. Don't do none of the stuff I'm telling y'all about. Mothers, just know I'm a businesswoman today. You know what I mean? I'm a brander today. You know, but this is the journey that I was on. You know, and this is where I'm at today. So if your kids is wilding out, they can still turn into moi. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we appreciate you coming through. Please go to Kickstarter.com.
Now.
Put in Eric Sermon. ERICK. Sermon, SERMON, because we know some of y'all are not old enough to remember when he spelled his name on records back in the day.
Show the people that we do support our own legends as well. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And that's what it's mostly about.
Important about this project, like the album's damn near done, so you ain't gotta wait forever.
Album's done.
Right.
We got all our stuff. We already knew what we was gonna do. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. I'm not trying to be cocky, but we already knew that we were gonna fund this. We were gonna put it out. You know what I mean? So everybody's like, well, you know, y'all not making that much money, and such made $500,000. Like, well, that's not. We gonna party. We party anyway.
Right.
We gonna do this anyway because, like you said, he could do this. He could do it already. You know what I mean? Definitely. He's doing it because we as the team was like, yo, E, would you get out there and do videos and talk? And my thing is, we gotta market you. You know what I mean? I need you to be in the light where the people come in and go, oh, he's verbal. Oh, I like how he talks. Oh, do you see how much he works so hard for himself on a Kickstarter, which is normally, you know, like you said, oh, I'm not begging for no money. So this has already done what it's supposed to do for us.
Definitely. Yeah. And the album features Meth, Pharrell, Big Crit, Styles P, Redman, a whole bunch of other people. So y'all, shout
out to Method Man. He just does above and beyond for. I mean, like he does my Def Rug commercials for me whenever asked. You know, we're both Pisces. Our birthday's on March 2nd, so I take real pride when I get a phone call. I'm like, yeah, it's Method Man. You know, like I'm a super fan. You know, like
definitely.
Thanks for the support, of course, everybody. Thank y'all for having me.
Of
course.
Because
you know, they was like, "Yeah, you coming here," and I was like, "They want me." You know, I've been to a lot of little stations. You know, moving around. I think I might have a job in radio. You know what I mean? Because I've been to a lot of places and they kind of dig me. You know what I mean? So
it's been fun. This was fun.
They start following me and stuff like, yo, I got invited like to a VIP, my own section on Saturday. I was going to Big Boy, you know, a little party, and I was like,
happy belated birthday, Big Boy.
Who are these people? You know what I mean? Like, y'all want me? You know? But I didn't go. You know, I was hanging out. I was hanging out. You know, one of my homegirls, she's out here. I don't know if y'all heard of Ursula, Earthverse. Ursula is a Grammy Award winning writer. She writes for Rihanna. She writes for Music Soul Child, 7th Street. She's out here pushing a single she got that she's doing her own project called oh my God, Never Gonna Change with Fabulous. So I've been kind of doing a lot of radio, you know, underneath her. Oh yeah, I just you know, she's out here I think till Valentine's Day, you know, doing a lot of radio, whatever. So I've been underneath her gun, and I told her, Earth, I can't do all that radio you doing. You know what I mean? Like I missed 4 o'clock radio. I was asleep. She was like, meet me at Patrick. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be at my 7:30 show. You know, like I stay in my lane. I don't need to be over there.
Yo, well, we appreciate y'all listening. And again, before we go, I got to shout. It's a kid named Tit Stante. This shows you that hip hop is worldwide. This dude is a 19-year-old snowboarder from Slovenia, and he had his run yesterday and wrote "Free Meek Mill" on the top of his snowboard.
Wow.
Hip hop is global.
Wow.
You gotta love that. Free Meek Mill.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely,
real.
because that's why I say this. The way overseas supports us, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
sure
if
it's
we're not
crazy.
vets over here, like even when Ja Rule 50 was trying to end him over here, he was still Michael Jackson overseas. You know what I mean?
Go get that
so
bag.
Don't forget about the Kickstarter. Definitely support the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Definitely support Def Rugs. Definitely support me. My IMK sermon _ whatever they say on Instagram. I got a podcast, too.
Oh, what?
It's called Hip Poppington with my homegirl Kim. She from Newark, New Jersey too. And it's pretty much like our house that hip hop built. You know what I mean? And we just gonna take it's pretty much giving
I'ma
the
subscribe
vets
and we gonna listen
a
to
platform. That's we bug out. You know what I mean? We give all the information. We just want to make sure that the vets know that you got a home. You know what I mean? And we're gonna always remember who you are because we don't want to talk. We act like we living in the 90s in our house. On hip Poppington. Yeah, we don't know nothing outside that right there. It's like the 90s records. They exist in our house today. So I'm lost. I don't know. I don't know nothing about nobody else beyond that. So,
Hilarious.
so definitely y'all check us out on that too. And again, support the Kickstarter.
Yes.
I want to see some numbers go up tonight because I was over here dropping jewels on y'all. You know what I mean? I was over here giving y'all a whole bunch of backstory. You know what I mean? Telling you some things I was doing and stuff. So I want to see some numbers pop off just because I'm on this show right here. It's day one, right?
Day one.
Just because I'm
radio.
on day one. Y'all love that. I like little words. You know what I mean? Just because I'm on day one.
Yeah.
And my V-girl stance. Just because I'm on day one.
Yo, make sure you follow
Support
us.
the Kickstarter on day one.
Day1Radio on all your social media platforms. Make sure you follow Hip Hop Trivia ATL as well. And we'll see you next week with another dope show.
All right.